You ever scroll through Instagram and see someone hopping rope like it's the easiest thing in the world and you think, yeah, I could totally do that tomorrow? That was me. Day one. Standing in my living room with the rope, lungs already staging a silent protest before I even started. Everyone makes it look like jump rope is this cute little cardio snack. In reality, it feels more like a secret alliance between your legs and arms, conspiring to humiliate beginners. Here's the thing. I'm not exactly fragile. I can crank out 18 pull-ups without collapsing. But hand me a rope and suddenly I'm in a slapstick routine I didn't audition for. My goal wasn't to look good. It never really is at first. I hate regular cardio. Treadmills feel like medieval torture devices. Ellipticals are, well, worse. I wanted something simple, portable, a way to survive a flight of stairs without wheezing like an old vacuum. Rope seemed like the obvious choice. Pros use it. They travel with it. And somehow never pass out mid-round. Easy, right? Ha. The first few days were miserable. YouTube made it look effortless. Light flicks of the wrists, gentle foot taps. Reality? Rope everywhere but where it's supposed to be. Shins bruised like I'd gotten into a bar fight. Shoulders screaming because I was flapping them like wings instead of rotating my wrists. Coordination might as well have been a foreign language. And here's the kicker. Thinking too much makes you freeze. My brain was shouting, "Do it right!" while my body kept inventing new ways to fail. Adjustments came fast, or maybe out of sheer desperation. Elbows tucked in, wrists rotating, tiny jumps, rope adjusted to armpit height, short bursts only. 30 seconds here, 2 minutes there. Rinse and repeat. Tedious, sure, but necessary. I felt like a toddler trying to walk with style. Just when I started feeling a little competent, my lungs reminded me that cardio isn't a joke. By day 6, the weird magic of form, maybe curse is a better word, started to show. Focusing on rhythm over brute force made sequences of 30, sometimes 50 jumps without tripping actually happen. Calves stopped hating me quite so much. Shoulders finally got the memo. And then it hit me. You don't improve by forcing it. You improve by thinking less, letting your body figure itself out. Sounds obvious now. But watching beginners flail proves how tempting it is to overthink every tiny movement. And this is exactly where most people bail, before day 18, because that's when it stops being humiliating and starts being almost fun. The awkward, sore, embarrassing phase, that's the real training ground. Stick with it, and jumping rope turns from chore into skill. Cardio actually improves, but the journey isn't pretty. It's messy, awkward, humbling, and it begins the very second you convince yourself, maybe a little doubtfully, that you can actually handle it. By the second week, things started, well, clicking, I guess. Not like magic. Your brain isn't suddenly going to hand you coordination on a silver platter, but enough that patterns start emerging. Keep your elbows tucked, flick your wrists, land lightly on your toes, and suddenly the rope doesn't look like some spaghetti monster out to strangle you. Your body is learning rhythm while your brain struggles to keep up, which explains why you still trip or faceplant every now and then. Honestly, that's normal. Everyone goes through it. Even that guy in the video with perfect form. I'm fairly sure he cried quietly at some point. Muscles adapt in ways you might not expect. Calves stop hating you so much. Forearms start to feel a little tougher. And your core kind of whispers, "Hey, I'm here too." Your heart, though, that's where the real surprise is. Around day 12, I noticed breathing leveling out mid-jump. My lungs weren't filing for divorce anymore. They were at least negotiating a truce. And here's the kicker most beginners miss. It's not just legs or arms that matter. Your entire cardio system is waking up, figuring out how to survive this unexpectedly punishing little dance. Then came the coordination upgrades, or at least the ones that felt like rocket science at first. Alternate foot jumps, a bit of run-in-place style, Small variations. You flail, you miss, you mutter under your breath. But eventually, rhythm sneaks up on you. You stop staring at your feet, stop consciously timing every jump, and your body quietly carries the motion for you. That's when it stops feeling like exercise and starts feeling like skill. Awkward, sweaty, leg-busting skill. Sure, but skill nonetheless. By week 3, I was hitting the sweet spot. 2 to 3 minutes of continuous basic jumps, sprinkling in alternate feet, maybe even a few crossovers just to prove something to myself. Coordination still isn't perfect, but those small wins do wonders for confidence. Your mind starts to trust your body again, and that's huge. Confidence, somewhat ironically, is almost half the battle, and jump rope doesn't care if you're humble or cocky. It punishes both until you learn. Here's the thing about progress. It's slow, subtle, and relentless. Jump rope doesn't throw confetti when you improve. It doesn't shout level up like a video game. But small gains stack quietly. 10 jumps turn into 20. 2 minutes stretch into 5. Eventually, you can try more advanced moves without completely breaking yourself. Heavier ropes slow you down just enough to reinforce rhythm. Lighter ropes push your speed and endurance. Tools like Crossrope or apps can track progress and make things slightly more fun. But the truth is probably simpler. Repetition, patience, and letting your body figure itself out beats any gimmick. And here's where most people bail. They watch beginners stumble, think, "I'll never get this," and quit. But really, perfection isn't the goal. Persistence is. You need to survive the awkward, exhausting, leg-cramping phase long enough for the skill to click. When it finally does, it's more than fitness. It's that little moment of personal victory every time the rope swishes cleanly beneath your feet. By the 4th week, something seems to shift. Not like suddenly you're some kind of jump rope ninja. Don't get ahead of yourself, but your body finally stops arguing with itself. 10 minutes of basic jumps no longer feels like a death sentence. You can switch feet for a bit, maybe even sneak in a double under or a quick crossover without immediately face planting. Heart rate, manageable. Lungs, cooperating more than before. Legs, surprisingly not on fire all the time. And somewhere quietly, confidence starts to catch up with skill. Like it was lagging behind and just decided to show up. Most people never reach this stage because they quit too soon. They see themselves tripping, missing beats and think, "I'm not good yet, so I must be failing." But that's kind of a trap. Skill doesn't happen instantly. Cardio endurance doesn't bloom overnight. You're probably not failing. You're just stepping off before real progress has a chance to sneak in. Consistency is the invisible, underrated hero. Stick with it long enough, and improvement isn't just possible. It's basically inevitable. The thing is, the takeaway isn't really about the rope itself or double unders, or even the calories burned. It's that a simple, repeatable habit, done over and over, quietly changes how your body handles stress. You can sprint upstairs without wheezing, lift weights longer without collapsing, and even survive cardio sessions you used to dread. Your body adapts because you forced it to endure the awkward, uncomfortable, messy learning phase. And here's a little secret nobody mentions. It can actually be fun. After day 18, I started looking forward to hopping rope. The frustration that used to make me groan slowly morphed into a challenge I kind of enjoyed. Cardio stops feeling like punishment. It becomes skill practice. Micro wins add up, small improvements stacked on each other, until eventually, you're watching your day 1 disaster footage and laughing at yourself. So here's the honest truth. If you're thinking about starting jump rope, or any beginner-friendly skill, get ready for awkwardness, soreness, and a bruised ego. But also be ready to be surprised at how quickly your body adapts once you commit. A little patience, a bit of persistence, and a lot of letting your body figure itself out. That's the part nobody really hands you. Try this. Grab a rope. Commit to a few minutes each day. Don't overthink it. and don't quit after 5 days. Eventually, you hit that sweet spot where skill meets cardio endurance. It's quietly satisfying. Not flashy, not dramatic, just real. Honestly, that feeling beats any treadmill session you've ever survived.